interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you the latest episode of Across the Board. Effects of listening to this podcast may include being educated on a random topic, shock, hysterical laughter, and an overwhelming feeling of wanting to subscribe to future episodes. This episode will start momentarily.
Welcome to another intriguing episode of Across the Board.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
We've gone English, haven't we?
Oh yes.
Not sure where that came from.
I don't know.
But okay. Here
I think that's a good segue though into a spooky season. Spooky.
But what does that have anything to do with England?
I feel like all those like haunted house movies or shows are like, welcome to this manor.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's very
Like-
like a haunted mansion.
Yeah. Yeah,
Poor
that's
guy-
literally what
also,
I was
rest
thinking
in
about.
peace to the poor guy.
Oh, he died?
The guy that does the voice. That did the haunted mansion voice, and I think he also did the didn't he also do the Michael Jackson video, the
Yeah.
music video? He died.
How old was he?
I would imagine 120, but
That's what I would.
I think he was like in his
Rest
80s.
in peace.
But yeah, he just died recently, like a week ago.
Aw, legend, icon.
So, but yeah, like you're saying, apparently this is the perfect time to do this because
September is
it's all
upon us,
culminating.
and then all the Halloween decor's up. Target, Home Goods, all the lovely pumpkins and the ghosts and stuff.
Okay, did you hear about this? I got to really quick talk about this. Apparently, you can now stay at the haunted mansion.
You told me about it, and yes,
Like it's
I'm all for that.
hotel stay.
Yeah.
But here's the weird part. I get if you're going to charge an absurd amount because
Yeah.
it's like the only hotel room in the haunted mansion.
Mm-hmm.
But they charge per person per night. So that's a little much.
Maybe it's because they do like there's this many ghouls haunting
No.
your soul or whatever,
No,
and they're
no,
like,
no, no.
oh, I don't know.
But they're charging $1,000 per person per night.
I mean, look, it's Disney. I'm not surprised.
Per person?
I'm not surprised.
If they just said it's $2,000 per night and called it a day.
No, because
There's only 2 beds in there.
Yeah, but people can go there with 4 people. They're not going to charge
They're like regular sized beds. They're not
2,000.
like-
People will go. Okay, is it like a bedroom or like?
It's like a bedroom in the haunted mansion.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
Do you put it back down when the ride is functioning?
No, I
again
think
or
it's
something, or?
somewhere in the like off. not in
No,
the right
they said
space.
it's on the ride, like near where the bride is.
No.
Yes,
Where's the bride?
like in the attic area where you're like going through and there's like photos, and she's like,
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
yeah, it's like there's a piano player.
Okay,
Dun, 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 dun.
that sounds very.
And then like
Vaguely
right when
familiar.
you're about to like get into, I think it's the graveyard or
Before you drop down.
yeah, it's before you drop down.
Okay, but it's probably somewhere in the building that's not part of the ride, but it's like in that part of the
But
building.
that doesn't make any sense though.
Why
like,
does it not?
I'm gonna be in a random room in the haunted mansion building. Like I want to be in
It's
the haunted mansion.
Disneyland. They will charge stupid amounts of money and people will go.
Yes, I know that already.
Mhm.
I know that.
There you go. There you go. So anyway, yes.
Talking about Halloween, I think we're gonna read some ghost stories today.
Can you read them in an English accent?
I can't. I'm not very good at an English accent, unfortunately.
'Twas the summer of '94. My brother and I had. Sorry, I can't do that.
What is the story about?
No, please
I
don't.
can't.
Please don't.
Okay then.
So where are these from?
These are from Reddit.
So if anybody, because this has happened in the past,
Mm-hmm.
we'll post Reddit stories and people will be like, "Oh, this is a bullshit story. You made it up." And I'm like,
No.
dude,
None of these were making up. I don't know if the writer made them up or
that's
whatever
the
it
thing,
is. Like,
don't come at us.
yeah, we found them on
This is
Reddit.
on Reddit.
Actually, I found them on Reddit. I'm gonna read them to you.
You
You
found
have
them.
not
I
read
have not
these
read
or
them.
heard these at all. So
And it's a good thing that we don't.
tried and true.
We don't film
reaction.
at night, so
What?
we don't film at night, so that's good. I won't have nightmares like a little child.
My little baby. All right. So
All
this
right.
one
Alrighty then.
is from Reddit,
Mhm.
as they all are. Evil Buffoon writes 7 months ago.
Evil buffoon.
Evil Buffoon.
Okay,
Questionable, but it is what it is.
we'll take it.
All right. My dad bought an 1884 Victorian house with my stepmom when she was pregnant with my younger sister.
Hold on, time out. Sorry.
Okay.
You're gonna have to restart.
Why?
We already know it's haunted. It's an 1884
I mean,
Victorian
kind
house.
of, but like,
I'm sure it has the sloped little roofs and shit too, like exactly like every haunted
Right,
movie.
right.
It's probably the house straight out of Beetlejuice. There's no question about it. It's
1884. I mean,
Victorian. If it was just an 1884 farmhouse,
no, that's
maybe.
also like, it could be.
No, those are more serial killer-esque. But Victorian houses are always haunted.
That is true. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, 1884 farmhouse, serial killer, Leatherface kind of stuff, Texas
Okay.
Chainsaw Massacre stuff. Yeah.
I don't.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
My dad bought an 1884 Victorian house with my stepmom when she was pregnant with my younger sister. This was around 13 years ago. Being a history lover, my dad wanted to discover the history of the house and who built it. Turns out it was built by a judge and his wife for their family. I was 12 when we moved in, and I got to pick out my bedroom upstairs. Dun dun dun. There was one room that stood out to me as the creepiest, coldest, darkest room out of the 4 that were up there, and I refused to go in there. I even refused to keep my door open. It had a stagnant eeriness to it that made me sick to my stomach. Every night, I'd wake up at 3 a.m., and somehow the door would be partially open, just enough that a small child could fit through it.
Nope. Nope.
I'd shake it off as my dad was probably playing a joke on me, as he knew how much that room creeped me out. Well, at 3 a.m. one morning, I woke up, and the light to the stairway turned on. Following that, there were footsteps that came up to the stairs. I didn't think much of it, as my dad probably was grabbing something out of one of the unoccupied rooms. He's an early riser. However, the footsteps stopped, and the light was still on. Later in the morning, my dad asked me why I left the light on the stairwell on. And I said, "Why did you leave the light on the stairwell? I heard you come upstairs." He said he didn't come upstairs. And I believe him. And while we were on the topic, I told him to stop leaving the creepy room door open. He swears he didn't, and as a dad would say, why would I open a door to a room no one is in and waste heat and money like that? So dad thing.
That's
such a bad thing to say.
That's a very dad thing.
Which makes sense. He has no reason to open the door. This is an old, poorly insulated house that he was renovating, and it took a lot of heat and money to keep up the warmth. About a year later, it was late, and I fell asleep on the couch downstairs, so I got up to my room. When I got up to the top of the stairs, I noticed the door to the creepy room was open. Tired and annoyed at this point, I went to close it, but froze when I saw a hand on the door
Nope.
frame and a little white face
Fuck
of
no.
a little girl.
Fuck no. I'm running. I'm leaving. I'm gone. No. I'm about to leave right now.
Just as quickly as I saw her, she vanished. As my dad continued to renovate the house, I guess it stirred up things because we could be sitting in the dining room and we could hear little footsteps above us. Around the creepy room that was directly above the dining room. A few years later, we discovered that the judge and his wife, who built the house, had a daughter who died in some kind of accident. She was only 9 years old when she died. I haven't seen her since, but to this day, I still refuse to go back into that room.
No, I wouldn't go. No, fuck that. So here's the... Basically, every ghost story, every horror movie, every ghost movie, whatever. For some reason, I think the proper reaction is just leave.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people just continue to live there, and it's like, oh, well, we can't afford to... No, you can't afford to live with a fucking ghost. I don't care. You can afford to get rid of the house. You can't afford to live with a ghost.
I agree with you, but I think if you're not really scared, I feel like there's feelings that you can get from
This is true.
these
'cause we
certain
hear shit here all the
situations.
time. We're
Yeah.
still here.
Like, I'm not afraid here, but like some people might be. So I think it really depends on your outlook on it and the way you feel with it being around you, maybe.
Maybe it has more to do with how... what's the word?
Bird. Sorry.
I feel like it has more to do with like how in your face it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to like just hear shit, stuff falls randomly, blah blah blah, and it's just like, okay,
If it's like
well,
a constant thing that's
like, it's not like
happening.
there's like knives flying across the room.
Yeah, that would be an issue.
That would be a major issue.
That would be an issue.
Or if I saw some shit, like if
Yeah.
I saw some little girl fucking coming down those stairs right now, some ghostly apparition, I would leave.
I will tell you something though that happened to me.
Do not.
Yesterday.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm gonna tell you.
Oh fuck.
As I was getting out of the bathroom,
Nope.
I thought I saw a man standing in the corner of our bedroom, and as I like did a double take, he was gone. And I've seen that same man go up our stairs. And remember when we had that one person come and tell us that they thought I was upstairs with them? And she said, "Oh, I thought you were calling me."
Yeah.
But I wasn't upstairs. I was downstairs.
Maybe we should stop talking about this. You know what? I mean, well, listen. There's been some weird shit around here. I regularly hear you calling my name.
See,
But
that's like
not.
very mimic like though. I've heard mimics are bad.
I've heard
You calling my name too when you're not here.
That's even worse because usually it's like I hear it like upstairs while you're down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I tend not to tempt these things.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. But like I'm saying, like if I see, like it's one thing, like if you see something, right? You're like, okay, maybe I was, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Something, whatever. Like it's
Like when I saw that yesterday, I went like that. You know, I'm like, and then like I did like a double take and it was gone.
But then that's the thing. Like I'm saying, like if you see something here and there, that's like one thing. But like if it's just this, like you're constantly seeing some shit and it's walking back and forth, and even when you do that double take, it's still there. That's a different story.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is I've seen those TikToks where people go through stuff like that and they're like, "Get the hell out of here. What do you want?" They're always like Southern for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like, "I don't want you in this house. Get out. What do you want, Pam? What's that? Is that you again?"
Well, aside from that, though, it's like for some reason, every time somebody claims that there's something, it's very easily like they've caught on camera.
Yeah.
It's almost very easily like something that you could debunk.
Yeah, but it's just funny.
But there's been a few videos where I'm like, that's kind of fucking weird. But then again, it's like if you really sit there and you watch it again, you're like, okay, well, that could have been done with like some strings and
Yeah,
fucking
for sure,
whatever,
for sure.
you know. It's not impossible to fake some of these things, but some of them are kind of convincing where you're like, oh,
But you never know what to believe anymore.
you don't.
Like at all. I can't take anything seriously, honestly. I want to,
Yeah,
but
I think,
even as convincing as something might look, I'm like,
well, I think that's kind of maybe our own doing. Just in terms of like, there's been so many people faking videos over the years. And then now that like we're also in the age of AI,
right.
I think there's a fly in here. Where the fuck did that come from?
Okay. We didn't open the door today.
I feel like we've gotten to the point where it's like you don't know what to believe.
Right.
Because there's obviously nowadays, especially with social media, there's money to be made off of like these videos because they
Of
get
course.
millions of views and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows?
Anyway.
That's the funny part though.
Yeah.
Like you could literally have a video of fucking Slimer from Ghostbusters
Yeah.
and people will be like, "Oh no, that's clearly fake." Like, what do you mean? Even if that shit was real as hell.
Yep.
No, of course that's fake. There's
Yep.
there's never anything like that. What do you the absurdity to claim that this
It's
ghastly
absurd.
apparition might be real.
David. I know. It just reminded me of that right now.
All right, we are off the rails.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Anyway.
Let's go. Next.
Okay. Story number 2.
Number 2.
Reddit.
Numero dos.
This comes from Dead Strom Pirate. Arg, matey.
Yeah.
And it's called Saw a Shadow Figure in My Parents' Bedroom After My Uncle's Death. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Hey, everyone. I wanted to share something that happened a couple of years ago that I still can't really explain. So for context, I, 21 female, had just lost my uncle. My parents flew to a city for cremation, and a few days later, my dad came back to finish some office work and then take me and my brother along for the rest of the rituals and other ceremonies.
Rituals.
I don't know what that means. I
What?
kind of like did this like face when I read that, but I'm like, you know what? Do you? It's all good.
Ceremonies, I understand.
Yeah,
Rituals?
Yeah. The night before we were supposed to leave, me, my dad, and my brother were sitting together in my room. At one point, I went to check the locks. The way my house is laid out, from the living room, I can see directly into my parents' bedroom. When I was heading back, I caught something in the corner of my eye. There was a tall, shadowy figure standing in my parents' room. The lights were off, but I clearly saw it turn its head and look at me.
Nope. Mm-mm.
I brushed it off, assuming it was my brother heading to the washroom. I quickly finished checking the locks and came back to my room. It couldn't have been more than 10 seconds. But when I got there, my brother and my dad were both still sitting in the room exactly where I'd left them. Neither of them had moved. When I asked, they both swore they hadn't left the room at all. To this day, I don't know what I saw. A part of me feels like it might have been my uncle, since the timing was so close to his passing. But I can't say for sure. It still gives me chills thinking about it. Has anyone ever experienced something like this? Yesterday.
Yeah, speak of the devil, huh?
Yesterday.
Oh. That's interesting.
What?
That fly was on my microphone.
Right?
That's going to be in the video, isn't it?
It is.
It's like the fly that flew onto Mike Pence's head
Probably.
during the vice presidential debate
That was
back
incredible.
in the day.
That was so
And
incredible.
just hung out.
Yeah.
Trying to steal the show. Anyway, so I think that ghosts, as well as like aliens, I think that this. Am I boring you?
A little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I think that this is more interdimensional stuff.
Okay.
And sometimes these things just slip into our dimension. And I don't think that they necessarily, maybe they don't necessarily do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they do. Maybe they're aware of how to move through dimensions and we're not.
But like ghosts, I don't understand why they would be in a different dimension. Like your soul?
Yeah. Like your soul is still on Earth, but not in this dimension.
Interesting take.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's a theory.
why would you want to come? I mean, I guess to see your loved ones. That makes sense.
Well, not just to your loved ones. Like this is maybe this is all there is. Maybe everything about space and different planets and galaxies and everything else is just bullshit, and this is all there is.
But if you're in a different dimension, then that isn't all that there is.
No, like this is all there is. This space where Earth is all that there is, but there's multiple dimensions of this space.
I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, well, because nobody's actually ever like able to. But it's obviously not something you could prove, but like think about it this way: like there is the space that contains this Earth, for example, right?
Okay.
Let's say the immediate space around the Earth. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe that's all there is in terms of like physical space, but that space is many layers deep, and each one of those layers is. Think about it like a stack of Post-it notes, right? You have that area of that one Post-it note.
You could see my thought fleeting, right? Like, could see it in my face.
Yeah, you had no idea what I was talking about.
And not a thought behind these eyes.
So that top Post-it note, let's say that's the Earth, right?
Okay.
And there's nothing else outside of that square where that Post-it note is.
The pink one, right?
Whichever
It's
color
pink.
you.
Okay.
Okay, sure, it's pink. It's a.
Pink Post-it.
You're going so off topic.
Okay.
But then you can peel each of those Post-it notes, and each one of those Post-it notes would be a different dimension, but it's all contained within that same space. Think about it like that.
Why?
It's just a fucking theory. I don't know. Is it?
Just giving you a hard time.
It doesn't have to make sense. Theoretical science doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like when you
Sometimes it does.
no, sometimes it does, but then sometimes they're like, oh well, the laws of physics don't apply in this fucking black hole. It's like, but it's
Why?
the law of
Yeah.
physics. You have told us that the law of physics applies to everything, but then all of a sudden here it doesn't to serve your theory. Like fuck
Yeah.
off. I don't believe you, scientist person.
I mean, maybe.
But this is what I'm saying though, is like theoretical science doesn't need to make sense because it's theoretical. Mm-hmm. They just bend all the rules to just be like, no, well, this may be what's going on because this is what we think, right?
Yeah.
So why can't I just think up some random shit and just say this is what's going on? I don't care what your fucking science says about it. Mm-hmm. I could do the same.
You could do the same.
Anyway, another story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but in terms of the pirate person,
Pirate person.
Here's the other thing too, is there's a lot that a lot of people experience things around the death of a loved one.
Yeah.
And it a lot of times just has to do with the trauma of losing
Of course,
that person.
you're not in your regular mental state at that.
Yeah, and no
time
matter how
point,
how much people think
mean,
they're like, oh,
yeah.
I'm coping. Like, no, you're usually not. You're
It's
usually
I experienced it. You know what I mean? It's you kind of question
yeah.
things at that point. You're like, okay, am I going crazy, or did I really hear that? Did I see that?
But
I think it's just a trauma response to you trying to cope with that situation.
And the unfortunate thing is no matter how sure you are you saw something or didn't see something, you only know what your eyes saw and what your brain interpreted.
Yeah, that is true.
And that doesn't mean that that's reality.
That's not always the case, though, when you're like
not always.
randomly, when you're not going through trauma and that happens, you're kind of like, well but did I really see that? Like,
again, that could also be something else that's going on. There's a million different things that will essentially influence and fuck with your brain chemistry.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And so there's a lot of different things that can happen. No, I'm trying to say, like, for example, like you look at people who hallucinate with drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like they are seeing things that are not there, but to them,
those are
it's
real.
there because they see it.
And they'll remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Even
So
though they
like,
were on drugs.
there's nothing that says that what you're seeing is real. Like, I could be sitting here looking at you recording this podcast, but in reality I could just be in a fucking coma hallucinating this whole thing. I don't know.
You know what I just thought of? I've seen TikTok videos of like schizophrenic people saying what they see, and they'll like create a video on what it looks like, what they're seeing. And a lot of people are saying, what if what you're seeing is actually real?
Yeah.
And only you can see it.
Yeah.
And you can see into the other dimension or whatever it is.
That's also possible.
But we
Yeah.
who don't have that condition can't see those things.
It's possible.
Like that's such a weird
possible.
Yeah.
I mean, when you really start like kind of like researching some of this stuff, you look at, for example, people who do DMT.
What is that?
It's a natural chemical that occurs. I don't know the specifics of it, so somebody's gonna be yelling at me in comments. But as far as I know, it's a chemical that's produced by your brain right before or at the time of death.
Okay.
And this is the chemical that basically shows you your whole life and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah.
But then again, they've figured out how to synthesize this chemical, or they found it in nature somewhere. So they've found out how to like concentrate it and use it as call it a drug, call it a supplement to be able to view things. And a lot of people do report the same things. They report hallucinations, but they're of roughly the same things. So it's like the thought then becomes like, well, maybe DMT is allowing people to see into either an afterlife or a different dimension or a different whatever. Like maybe it's allowing them to see with the veil pulled down. Like maybe all of this is the veil.
Would you take it to see?
I don't think I'm mentally stable enough.
Yeah.
I think I would lose my fucking mind.
I agree.
Because the thing of it is it's not that I want to believe that there's more, but I'm open to that. And I don't know that if I do see something that suggests that that is real.
Ooh, sorry. It's a fly.
Yeah, just a fly. So what I'm saying is since I am open to that, and if I do see something or experience something that suggests that my thought of something more is an actual reality, I don't know how that'll screw with my perception of reality.
That's true.
Coming back out of it,
I think you'd have a hard time coming back from that and living
and just living
life.
That's what I'm saying. Like now
that's
just
all you're thinking about.
You're back to daily life, and you're like, no, there is more to this. I've seen it.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. Like I can't even imagine knowing that.
Well, but this goes right along with like the simulation theory too. Like if you could like hardcore convince somebody, like, people say, okay, maybe it's real. Some people are like, oh, there's, a really good chance that we're in a simulation. But if you could say, for example, we're in a simulation here, take this drug, you're going to see the simulation. We're going to see it with the walls down.
Right.
Now you take somebody and for example, it's like the person takes the red pill, they see the Matrix, but then they're able to come back and live in the Matrix. They know that everything they're looking at is fake.
I said it when I saw the movie. Blue pill. All the way. I'm good. Can you imagine going through all of that? What he went through? No, thank you.
Yeah, but at the same time, curious brains sometimes.
I'm a very curious human being, but I don't think in that way.
But also, Lawrence Fishburne in that movie fucked him over. He should have been like, listen, dude, it's not pleasant. I will show you.
Right? Just tell me.
It's a fucked up situation, but I'll show you what it is.
It's like almost like Misery Loves Company.
Instead of just being like, dude,
you sure you want to do this? It's not great.
He literally was like, I'll show you what the Matrix is. Just take this pill.
Yeah.
I'll show you. No problem. You can't come back though, but I'll show you what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it could be fucking your idea of heaven. It could be your idea of hell.
Right.
But he gave him no indication as to what it was. Like,
nothing.
That was just a screwed up situation.
Yeah,
like,
nothing.
he fucked him.
Like, I'd be asking more questions.
Well, you know how he pulled the sale. Like, he pulled the salesman. He's like, oh, there isn't enough time. You have to make a decision right now. Like, we have to go.
Bye.
He gave him that like pressure to like make him buy into it.
Of course, yeah.
This fly is gonna fucking kill me. Anyhow, but yeah, you couldn't see the reality of things if that was the reality, and then just come back and live life happily, because that would just be weird.
Right. All right, next story. This is from Winty_X4.
Winty X4. Okay.
What could it be? Am I losing my mind?
Probably, yes.
We are all losing our minds.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. I have to start by saying that my house is quite old and has a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is in excellent condition and there have never been any problems with this house. Getting to the point. For a long time now, I have started hearing footsteps in the middle of the night, usually between 1 and 3 a.m. I can distinguish the sounds of family members' footsteps, but these were unfamiliar and seemed unsettling to me. At first, I thought it was just the house, as it is quite old. However, I began to hear them more and more often and closer to me, and I feel anxious when I hear them.
Always starts with the footsteps.
Yeah.
Always.
In addition, doors are opening by themselves more and more often. My house has old doors, but they're very strong and durable. So if you close them, there's no way they'll reopen on their own. However, sometimes I close the bedroom door, come back from the bathroom, and it's open. This usually happens between 1 and 3 a.m. too. You might think that there's a draft that might have opened them, or that they weren't closed properly and just opened, or maybe a family member opened them. No. I always make sure the door is closed properly, and I would also hear my family's footsteps as if they were coming into my room.
Just sounds like his house needs repairs. Sorry.
Maybe.
Continue.
At first I thought I was imagining it, but no, I wasn't. Another thing that worries me is that my dog sometimes acts strangely at night. I have a 2-year-old Labrador. Recently, I've noticed he's acting strangely at night, again, between 1 and 3 a.m. He often whines, refuses to sleep, and walks around like he didn't know what to do with himself. My dog doesn't have any health problems, and his behavior has only recently become this way. He's never had any problems before. I'm starting to fear I'm losing my mind. Every night I feel more and more anxious. I don't know what's going on in my house, but I'm convinced it's not my imagination. I don't know if it's important, but my grandpa died 3 years ago, and it was his house. But nothing like this has happened before. Should I tell someone? Should I do nothing? What could it be? The dog is kind of like what?
The dog's the one that gets me.
Because if your dog has been normal for, hasn't had these like.
But maybe the dog's just getting old. See, you could almost, if you try to, you could explain everything away. The house is settling. That's what sounds like footsteps, little pops in the night. With the settling, the doors are now off balance, so they swing open by themselves. The dog's getting old, so the dog's flipping out. You could explain it away if you try, but let's assume that this stuff is real. Is real, not Israel.
Is real, yes.
Why? Brings up a great question. Why do things just like randomly start happening? Like what? It doesn't sound like there was a thing that triggered this. It sounds like it just randomly started.
But, I've heard that if there's an event in your life or you're stressed or you have anxiety or whatever it is that's causing you some kind of change,
Mm-hmm.
I guess spirits kind of get more.
But then the other thing is too, though, is you can now say, well, if you're experiencing stress and anxiety, then you're hallucinating these things as part of your stress and anxiety.
That's a lot to take, though. Like hallucinating because of stress and anxiety, like
It happens.
that is true. But
It happens.
also, why do these things always happen at 3 a.m.? It's a witching hour.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't. Because it's late at night, you're tired, and you're more likely to see shit
Do you
that's
think
not
it's
there.
because people naturally just wake up at 3 a.m. more often? Because I wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom almost every night.
Well, I think it's just I think if you're awake at 3 a.m., you probably haven't been awake the whole time, so you're probably just opening your eyes. So you're probably seeing shit that's not really there, or you're still half dreaming about something that, like, it's, I don't, you'd have to give me some hard evidence for me to believe that. I think it's a lot of, again, I'm not saying I don't believe, but I feel like a lot of it can be explained away. A lot of these stories can be explained away, I think.
Yeah, this response says this time of these occurrences coincides with the witching hour. Seems like you're being disturbed by negative energy. Well, it could happen.
It could, but it's like
highly
I said,
unlikely.
I think it comes down to, do you want to believe or do you want to discredit?
But honestly, if something like this was happening to us and everything was like fine and we were fine and like everything was good and like randomly all these things started to happen, I'd be worried too. Like,
yeah,
I'd also feel like if I was like, am I losing my mind? Like,
but the thing of it is too, is in all these stories, it's always just the one person that sees this stuff.
and the dog.
Yeah, but what if he's just misinterpreting his dog being fucking like just whatever?
Getting old.
He changed the food so the dog's
Maybe.
stomach is hurting.
Maybe.
He won't go to sleep because he's trying to go outside so he could have diarrhea.
We've had that happen before with another dog.
Well, like seriously, like we house sat a dog,
Yeah.
right? Or we dog sat, whatever.
Yeah.
The fact that the dog woke up at like 2:30 in the morning and woke us up, I could have been freaking out and going, "Oh my god, the dog is fucking seeing something." No, the dog just had to take a shit. Like that was it. So you see what I'm saying?
What
like
a
it's
good
like
dog, though. Honestly, love that. Love that. Shout out to Milo.
My god!
Shout out to Milo. We love you, Milo.
If that dog would have had diarrhea in the bed,
Yeah, it happens.
no,
Gotta wash all the sheets.
no. You're not
Well,
going
that's
back
why
to
he's
sleep.
such a good dog.
You're not going back to sleep with diarrhea
That's
in
why
the
he's
bed.
such a good dog, because he's like, get me off of this bed. I'm too small to jump off.
He could have jumped, little fucker.
He probably could have.
Anyway.
Okay, so this next story is a little bit longer. It's from Superb Talk 2100.
Okay.
And it says, Black entity with red eyes. I need serious help and
Nope.
advice.
This is demonic shit. I don't play with the demons.
Okay. Hello. I'm very new to Reddit, but turned here because I have been doing as much research on my own and I'm starting to explore outside advice and testimonies. So here goes nothing. I have always been able to see. I'm a very strong empath as well. I always was just able to see shadow people. Several times I've seen entities that look as if they have drowned years and years ago. Quite creepy looking beings.
Time out. I already don't believe this.
Why?
Anytime somebody prefaces things by telling me that there's some kind of like psychic, empath, whatever, this, that, I'm like, I already think you're full of shit.
Okay.
But continue, please.
I moved recently, a few towns away from home. This is when things started. The first 6 months I was unbothered and did not notice too much. My 4-year-old son has refused to sleep in his room from the day we moved in. He kept saying he saw monsters. At first I thought it was just the normal toddler afraid of the dark scenario, right? Well, wrong. My son has told me about a house he has when he goes to sleep. He has described in perfect my grandmother, who died 7 years before his birth, whom I never spoke to him about. He knew her name, My father died a year and a half ago. He says he's always there along with his brothers and sisters. I had 3 miscarriages. My childhood dogs Poncho and Leo. He described them to a T and knew their names. I believe my son.
Okay.
Now here's where I need help. Things have taken a turn towards the creepy side for myself and my family. I have been having something literally lock onto my ankles and grabbing my ankle from under my bed. I can still feel the strength and feeling the unusual hands that held onto me so tightly. I hear talking at all hours of the night. I see something move behind me very fast in the door reflection. I have seen a very creepy thing sticking its nasty head and hands out of my staircase railings. Last night, my daughter saw the black shadow man again. He stands about 6 feet tall from her description, very dark red glowing eyes and sharp teeth. He stands in my son's room. This is the second night she has seen him. This doesn't make sense. He stands and then she's in his room.
Yeah. Why is the daughter seeing stuff in the son's room?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
There's multiple different entities.
I don't know. A week ago, I was sitting downstairs watching a movie alone in the dark. The front porch light was on, but I felt the hairs on me neck stick up from something.
The hairs on me neck.
From something in me told me not to look, but I did. I saw a figure upside down coming out of the corner of the ceiling, and because my porch light was on, I could see it clear as day. I was completely frozen in fear. A few nights later, my 4-year-old was screaming from the living room. He saw it too, but he saw its true face. Thinking of the evil Joker, and that sums up the face with red glowing eyes. He said it's evil and smiles weirdly at him, described as like a sinister half smile. On top of all this, I can feel what it is doing to my mood, my anger. I feel as if my emotions at times are not mine at all. My daughter is becoming a very angry girl, and it is amplifying, and I am very worried that's going to start hurting someone. And then she just goes on to talk about things that she's done to protect us.
To protect us.
To protect her and her kids.
Oh, I thought...
I don't know her.
You said to protect us. I was like,
Like,
wait,
to protect her kids.
Protecting the earth from these things?
Yeah, she says she has the power within her.
Oh.
So go for it. I think that this is... I don't know.
What if... But here's the funny thing is, like, what if all these people are actually being 100% serious?
Yeah.
All of this is 100% true. And we're all just sitting here going like, oh, you're fucking nuts. But they're actually seeing some shit.
I don't think that. I think if you're going to write a story, you should write it a little bit...
You should not be so scatterbrained while writing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you can also be so scatterbrained because you're so scared. But I thought of sleep paralysis, the black shadowy figure.
But then what about the kids?
They could be having it. I don't know.
The kids are having it as well. It's hereditary, maybe.
Maybe. Does that happen? I have no idea. I mean, I've had sleep paralysis and it is no joke.
Yeah, shit is terrifying. But
it's terrifying. You still see the black figure like in your room, wherever you are. Like, it's awful. But then seeing it when you're awake is a different kind of story, you know?
Maybe they have narcolepsy.
Maybe they have narcolepsy.
They have a hereditary sleep disorder.
Yeah.
Combined with
very
night
like,
terrors. You see what I'm saying? If you try to debunk, you could debunk.
Oh, for sure.
If you want to believe, you could say, well, no, the kids are seeing it too. And, you know, the lights were on, so she couldn't have been asleep because the lights were on and it was daytime and she was sitting there and watching TV. And I don't know. There's just some weird evil clown thing with big teeth that...
A sinister smile
that just like hanging out like on people's roofs and climbing down their porches. But then what is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Right? Like,
I couldn't tell you.
Like what? You know what I mean? Like a ghost is a ghost. Okay. A ghost is somebody who passed and is now a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
A demon is a demon, and demons take different forms. A lot of times you don't see the demon.
Right.
What is this? Like a fucking chupacabra or something?
Maybe. I don't know.
But why is it coming to their house? Do they have goats?
I don't know.
Where does she live?
It didn't give me that.
I'd be more likely to believe this if this was like out in the farmlands in
It
the
didn't
country.
say like where she lived or anything like that.
Maybe she just has like evil neighbors that are tormenting her.
Maybe. She said she recently moved a few towns away from home. It doesn't say where home was or anything like that. But also,
Yeah.
you just moved away with your children. You're very stressed. Oh, it's a whole new thing for you,
whole new world.
right? Whole new world. Maybe that's what's causing it. I don't know. Maybe that negative energy. I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm just saying that there is a lot of different ways to look at things, and it depends on which which lens you're looking at these things through. Maybe it's true. Maybe it is. Maybe she moved into a really fucking haunted house. I don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe these are like the killer clowns that, killed people in the house before they moved in. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was there like a pentagram on the floor under the carpet? I don't, this may be a thing.
I mean, it's in a lot of horror movies.
I literally saw somebody had posted a picture somewhere on the internet. And obviously it's probably fake, but it was a picture of a bedroom. And the caption said something like, "We just pulled up the carpets. How much is this going to cost to fix?" And it was hardwood floors with a pentagram burned into it. I'm like,
you know what? I don't care what it's going to cost. At the point, just get rid of it, please. Thanks.
I'm like, wait a minute. Do you not realize what that is?
Right?
Wait, is it a pentacle or a pentagram? Which one's which?
Pentagram.
But what's a pentacle?
I don't know. Pentecostal?
No.
Testicle.
There's two different things. I don't know.
Pesticle.
Anyway. Are you well, my dear?
I am not. Okay, so this is a little bit of a positive one, I guess, / not. Maybe I shouldn't say that. No, I don't know.
What's positive about it?
An entity saved my life. Okay, from
maybe that's
Hat
positive.
Charming 6202.
These usernames. Oh, man.
So this happened 3 years ago when I
Okay.
was 15.
Okay.
I was walking home after seeing my friends. I stopped for a minute to grab my phone out of my bag. Everything was normal until I heard a female voice in my head telling me to run. I was more concerned about the fact that I suddenly heard a voice in my head. 2 seconds later, I hear it again, but this time she's screaming at me, "Run." It had such an impact, it was like something pushed me. I started running like mad. Then reality kicked in and I stopped running and thought, why am I hearing this? I looked behind me and I kid you not, that's when a car crashed exactly where I was standing before. From what it looked like, I would have had my legs crushed into the wall. I don't know who that entity or what it was. I believe maybe it was a family member as she had my accent. I don't know. What do you think? That was it.
That was it.
It could happen.
It could happen. Otherworldly protectors from different dimensions.
It could be.
Who are
I
able
kind
to
of believe
see,
in that.
But who are able to see in the future?
Why not?
Maybe.
Or maybe they could sense some type of like danger or something and they're telling you to run. I kind of do believe that though.
It's possible. I'm at the point in life where everything is possible to me.
Yeah.
I don't discount anything.
But this was
anymore.
more of a positive. One minus the person who crashed into the wall. Hope they're okay.
No,
But
that's their problem.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing too, though, is there are a lot of stories like that. There are a lot of stories where somebody's like, well, something told me to just like not go that night. And then that night fucking something happened.
Yeah.
Or some random chain of like crazy events took place and that person missed their flight and the plane crashed. Like,
Right.
it's like that can't just be random coincidence, could it?
Maybe. It could. Maybe.
Maybe.
You never know, honestly, at this point. Let me see.
You got another one for me?
Our last story. This one is also a little bit long.
Okay.
This is from Playful Program 9945.
Okay.
Has anyone experienced something like this near the water? 3 nights ago, I went through something that's hard to explain, and I want to share it to see if anyone's had a similar experience and as a warning sign for people who drink or are vulnerable states near water. So the reason I picked this one is you'll see it has something to do with alcohol. So I think we can kind of make sense of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Going through something like this and having been drinking and all that stuff, whatever.
Okay.
Okay. I was out drinking with my friends, but eventually left and went to my boyfriend's place. I told him to stay home and to not follow me. For some reason, I felt drawn to the beach. On the walk down the hill, I got this horrible gut feeling, like I already knew something bad was about to happen, and I cried before I even reached the water. When I got there, my boyfriend called me, and while we were on the phone, I heard his voice coming from far out into the water. He sounded distressed, calling out to me. I told him I could hear him and that I was going to get him. Then the call cut off completely. My phone wasn't low on battery. Without hesitation, I went into the water with all my clothes and shoes still on. Mind you, this is at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The moment I stepped in, I didn't feel cold at all, only warmth, like walking into a hot tub. I kept calling for him, but his voice kept getting further and further away. I passed the first drop-off and was deep enough that the water was above my waist. This is your worst nightmare.
Well, no, at night especially. Like,
Yeah,
this is
there's
not
no
a
way
good-
I
this
could
is not
never.
a good.
My
No.
shoes felt incredibly heavy and I moved so slowly. I reached out in the water trying to find him, but then his voice stopped completely. All I could hear were the calm waves. The moonlight made the black water look still and eerie. That's when panic hit. I realized how deep I was and started crying and yelling. I don't want to die this way. It felt like something heavy was on me, like I was being watched from behind in the water. As I walked towards shore, it felt like it was taking forever, like I was getting farther instead of closer. And I swear I felt a light push on my stomach as if trying to push me back in. When I finally got out to shore, I sat down with my legs still in the water. The fear was gone, replaced with calm. My boyfriend called again and I could still hear his voice in the water, even though he was actually home. I told him if he wasn't home, I'd go back in to find him. The rest of the night felt strange. I told him everything, but it felt almost like a hallucination. Like I wasn't really there until I hugged him. The next day, I still felt watched, even inside, but without fear. In my culture, there are stories about spirits in the water that can call you into that can call to you in familiar voices. They wait until you're vulnerable, and I was drunk, emotional, and alone. I believe something tried to lure me in that night. I walked away, but I know it's not gone. If you ever feel pulled toward the water when you're in a vulnerable state, especially if you hear a familiar voice, don't go. I wouldn't go anyway.
But you're talking to your boyfriend on the phone.
But you could hear him yelling at you or like screaming for you from the ocean?
That's what I'm not getting.
I don't know. She was drunk. Like, she
Don't-
probably couldn't even make sense of anything.
Don't get
you
in the
know?
water when you're drunk.
Ever. Like,
But here's the thing.
especially the ocean.
Alone at night?
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking lost instantly.
There's no way.
Or she heard a siren's call.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's option B.
That's option B.
Option C is that somebody spiked her drink and she was fucking hallucinating on the beach.
Yeah, but like as soon as I read that she walked into the ocean and that she was like too far into it and whatever, I'm like, okay, one, you're going into the ocean at night.
Here's the thing is, even if you're
fully clothed,
sober,
drunk. Like,
even if you're sober though, you probably shouldn't be going into the ocean at night
Yeah.
alone in what's
I'm
probably
just saying she had
pitch
all these other
blackness.
things that were like working against her, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that is the last place I want to be after
Yeah.
drinking, especially at night.
But
Like, I don't even want to go in when it's daytime because the ocean scares me.
well, but aside from that though, it's like how easy would it be to get disoriented once you get
Oh,
like
for sure.
too far out and then you don't even
Yeah.
know which way land
Like,
is.
you could have drowned. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, thank God that didn't happen. But like,
But,
that's
like,
such a
look-
scary thought.
Like, even if you thought you heard voices coming out of the water, like, why wouldn't you call for help? You
Yeah.
have a phone.
I wouldn't.
Like, you're not going to do anything.
But then again, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
but then again, I'm thinking if that were me in that situation, I heard you. First of all, there's no way I'd be hearing you call me from the ocean.
No.
I would 100% know that was not you.
Yeah. If you heard me calling you from the ocean, there's something else going on.
I think the only place you'd call out for me was maybe in a 5-foot deep pool.
Okay. So now this is where we're going, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
But like, I wouldn't even like think that would happen. You know, like it doesn't make any sense. But
the thing that I don't understand is if she was sitting on the fucking beach and she heard her boyfriend's voice.
yeah.
Okay, maybe. Was your boyfriend out with you that night? Was he around that beach? Okay, maybe he's
Like,
in the water.
yeah, like trace your steps. Like he was never there with you. He wasn't at the beach.
But-
You told him to leave you alone.
But you're on the phone with him.
Yeah.
And he's talking to you on the phone, but you somehow believed he was in the water.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense.
Doesn't. Anyway. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I
you
got for now.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that last one's just a product of people being dumb. If she ever hears this, then that's my opinion.
We'll have to do another Halloween episode in sometime in
No,
October.
we need to compile some really spooky stories.
Yeah. If you have any spooky stories that you'd like us
We gotta
to
do
talk
a
about,
Halloween special in costume.
we should. But if you have any scary stories you'd like us to talk about on this podcast, let us know. We are happy to do so.
No, I would love to hear the creepiest
Mm-hmm.
of creepy stories. And even better yet, I would love to find somebody who like lived in a house that they were convinced was haunted or possessed or
Yeah.
whatever.
If-
And I would love to have them as a guest.
Right. And if you have any scary stories, leave in the comments. Let us know. We'd love to hear about them. And hopefully bring them up on the podcast.
That'd be fun.
Well, cool. Till next time.
Till next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.